Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, I want to share a story from a woman who's grappling with a pretty unique problem in her marriage. So here's the deal. I'm 31 and I've been married to my husband, who's 34, for about 10 years now. And for those 10 years, he's had this unwavering breakfast routine. Every single morning, without fail, he cooks himself a tofu scramble loaded with various veggies. Sounds healthy, right? But here's where it gets complicated. For years, I barely noticed his morning ritual. It was one of those things that just sort of blended into the background of our lives. But then, a couple of years ago, I started to notice a shift. My husband began getting distracted while cooking. He would leave the kitchen to sit at his computer, lost in thought about work. And while he claims the stove is either off or on super low, the reality is that almost every morning I'm hit with the revolting smell of burnt oil. It's awful. I mean, have you ever had one of those moments where you're just minding your own business and suddenly the air is filled with something that makes your stomach turn? That's me, every morning. The smell is so bad that I've had coughing fits. Yes, actual coughing fits because of the smoke wafting through the air. I've tried to explain this to him, but he insists that there's no smoke, no problem. Now let's add a little fuel to the fire. We recently moved into an old house. And when I say old, I mean the kind of old that's got terrible ventilation. The fan over the stove, it just recirculates the air around the kitchen. So you can imagine how that works out for me when I'm trying to work from home and his cooking smoke fills my office. And to top it all off, I'm pregnant and struggling with morning sickness. My body is already betraying me in so many ways, and the smell of burnt breakfast makes it 10 times worse. I'm sure you can empathize with how irritating that must be. Hormones are raging, emotions are high, and I'm stuck in this cycle of waking up to a smell that turns my stomach. I've tried talking to him about it a few times. Each time, I approach him calmly, hoping to find a solution. I suggest he be more careful while cooking, but he just doesn't seem to grasp how offensive the smell is to me. This morning, for instance, I was in a work meeting, and once again, he left his food unattended on the stove. The smoke rolled into my office like an unwelcome guest. I was fighting to keep it together, struggling not to gag or cough while presenting to my colleagues. At this point, I'm at my wit's end. I want to demand that he either stop cooking breakfast altogether or find some way to do it outside. Maybe get a blacktop or a portable grill. Anything to avoid the smell that makes me feel sick. Now, let's break it down. Why do I think I'm not the jerk here? Well, I mean, he's demonstrated some pretty unsafe practices while cooking. Not to mention, my morning sickness is no joke. But then again, I can't ignore the fact that this breakfast routine has been a part of his life since before we even met. It's a ritual for him, and he doesn't see things the way I do. He thinks I'm being sensitive, and honestly, that hurts. So, what do I do? Should I insist he change his routine for my sake? Or should I just accept that this is his way of starting the day? It's a tough situation, and I'm sure many of you can relate to the struggle of balancing personal needs with the habits of a loved one.